So today, we will be finding the standard form and finding the center, vertices, and foci of an ellipse. So, let's find the standard form of this given. First, what is the standard form of an ellipse? The standard form of an ellipse is x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared. Have our plotting points of our foci, whereas 0 and 0 is the origin, and 4 is considered as the value of the x-axis, and 0 is the value of the y-axis. So we count from 0, the y-axis, to the right, since it's a positive x-axis. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is our foci. To get the standard form, we have to get our A, B, and C values. First, to get the value of A, we have to divide the major axis to 2. So, major axis is 6 divided by 2 equals to 3. So, we have our value of A, which is 3. Before we go to C, we have to get the center first. To get the value of center is you have to compute the distance of the foci, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, distance of the two foci is 4 divided by 2. We get 2. So, our center is 2. So, now that we have the value of center, we can get the value of our C. To get the value of our C, we have to compute, this is our center, 2 and 0. Since our y-axis is still on 0. So we count from 1, 2 to the right, since it's positive, so we get 2. So to get the value of our C, we have to compute, we have to count from center to focus. From center, 1, 2, 3. So, from center to focus, the distance is 3. So, we get 3. To compute for B, to solve for B, we have to use C squared equals A squared minus B squared. So, the value of our A squared is 3 squared. So, 3 squared. C squared, value of our C squared is 3 squared as well. Minus B squared. Transpose to this. Transpose this to this. So we get B squared equals 3 squared minus 3 squared, which is just B squared equals 9 minus 9 equals B squared equals 0, or B equals 0. So now that we have our values of A, B, and C, and our center, which is 2, our standard form is 2 and 0. Sorry. Standard form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared over a squared plus, it's just b squared. B squared, that's our standard form. So when we convert this, we get x minus 2, since it's positive 2, we're gonna change it to positive, then 2 plus, since we don't have our value of our k, we're gonna write y squared over b, since we don't have the value of our b. Then we're gonna write a squared, which is 9. So that's how you get the standard form of this given. So again, let's find the standard form of this given. First, let's look for the a, b, c values. So our a value is given right here, which is 3c. Our c value isn't given. So let's solve for c. Our c is the distance between from the center to our foci, which is 1, 2, 3. So that's our c. Write this down as c. So 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. Now let's solve for b. We can remove this graph since we already got our c. To solve for b, we use c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So the value of our c squared is 3 squared equals 9 squared minus b squared. Transpose this to this to this, to get b squared equals 9 squared. 3 squared is going to be positive 3 squared is going to be negative 3 squared. So b squared equals 9 squared is 81 minus 3 squared is 9. So b squared equals 81 minus 9, whereas b squared equals 72. And the value of b is square root of 72. To cancel out the squares is 8.48. Okay, so now that we have the value of our b, which is 8.48, we can now get our standard form, which is x plus 3, which is our h and our k values, over a squared, which is 81 plus y plus 2, value of our k, 2 squared, both is squared, and 72 equals to 1. So, first, let's find the values of our a, b, and c. So, we are looking for c, v, and f. This is our given. So, our a is 12. So, the square root of 12 is 3 point, sorry, this is b and this is a, since a is always supposed to be bigger than b. So this is a, this is our a value, which is a squared. Square root of a is, so the square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 12 is 3.46. Square root of our c, wait, but first we have to get the value of our c. C equals a squared minus b squared. C squared is value of 4 squared, which is gonna be 16. So the value of our b is 12. 16 minus 12 equals to 4. C squared, square root of 4 is c equals to 2. So that's the value of our 2. So now let's solve to get our co-vertices. I mean our vertices. So v equals, we're using a, so v equals h k plus minus a. That's our formula. v1 equals negative 3 to positive 4. I mean plus 4. So v1 equals negative 3 and 6. That's our v1. So we're gonna write it down here. 3 and 6. So for subtraction, negative 3, 2 times 4 is going to be negative 2. It's our v2. So now let's solve for our vertices. This is our co-vertices since our orientation is horizontal. So that means x is shorter than the values of y. So meaning, so that means our ellipse is horizontal. So our v1 is gonna be negative 3 plus 3.46 and 2. Standard form, sorry, I haven't given it. The standard form is h plus minus b and k. So that's our standard form. So let's get back to v1. Negative 3 plus 3.46 is gonna be 0.46, cancel out the 3's, then 2. That's our V1 of our vertices equals 0.46 is 2. Let's get the second value, which is V2 equals -3 minus 3.46 and 2 equals -6.46 and negative and 2. But that's our values of our V2. -3, -6, 6.46 and 2. So now let's plot. So before we plot, let's write our center. So we always get the opposite sign of this number, both signs. So we get from +3 to -3, from -2 to +2. So that's our center. Let's plot. -3 is x, so we go horizontal. 1, 2, 3. So our y axis is 2. It's gonna be 1, 2. So our plot is here. Then we get the vertices and the co-vertices. We get the co-vertices first, which is -3 and 6. So -3 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we go here. Then our second vertices, co-vertices, -3 and 2, -3 and -2. So 1, 2. It's here. Then our vertices, 0.46 and 2. So we come from 0.46 here and 2. 1, 2. Then -6.46, which is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2. 1, 2. So that's our plotting points. So let's get our foci. The formula for our foci is F equals HK plus minus C. That's our formula for our foci. So we write it down as F equals -3 plus -3 2 plus 2. So F1 equals -3 and 4. So first foci, F1 is -3 and 4. Second, our next foci is F2 equals -3 2 minus 2 plus it's minus 2. So it's gonna be equals -3 and 0. So now that we have our values of our center, vertices, and foci, here is our center is -3 and +2. Co-vertices are -3 and 6 and -3 and 2. Vertices are 0.46 and 2. And our second vertex is 6.46 and 2. So here's the value of our C, value of our co-vertices, value of our vertices, and value of our foci. So for this given, it's still finding the center, vertices, and foci. So let's start. Combine like terms of this given, it's gonna be 12x squared minus 12x plus 20y plus 40y. Then transpose. Sorry, you can transpose, but this is for you to understand better. Add both sides, 37. So this cancels out, and this becomes 30. This becomes 37. So first, we need to factor this out. We use 12 x squared minus x. We need to add, then leave a space. Then this is gonna be 20 y squared plus 2y plus, gonna leave a space here again, equals to 37 plus 12 multiplied by the number on the blank. So again, we're gonna add 20 multiplied by the number on the blank. So the value of this middle given or middle number is gonna be brought down, which is -1. -1, we're gonna divide this value by 2, then squared. So -1 divided by 2 is -0.5 squared. 0.5 is gonna be, it's gonna be 0.25. So our value here is gonna be 0.25, 0.25. Since our value is 0.25, we're gonna do the same procedure here. So we're gonna take 2 divided by 2 squared. It's gonna be 1 squared. 1 times 1 is 1. So that's the value of our coefficient. This is completing the square, by the way. Okay, since we have our values over here, we have to add. So the number here, it's gonna be 12 x minus 1 squared. This is a complete square, by the way. Plus 20 y plus 1. We got this value because of this, and we are sorry, correction. This is going to be y plus 2. So we get this value because of this one. It's going to be, add all of this. Here's 7 plus 12. 12 times 25.25, then 20 times 1, so add all of those, we're gonna get 60. I know, it's still 12x. Sorry. Still gonna be 12x because we're gonna factor out 60, or divide 60 rather, in all of them. So 12 divided by 60, to remove this first. 12 divided by 60 is gonna be x minus 1 squared over 5 plus 20. Don't need 20 since it's already been divided. So y plus 2 squared over 3 equals 1, since 60 divided by 60 is 1. So before we graph, let's take the values of our a, b, and c. Our values is 2.24 for a, 1.73 for b, then c is 2. We solved to get number 2 is c squared. This is the formula. C squared, a squared, minus b squared. So these are the values of our 2. So to get our other values, let's get the center first. It's gonna be 1 and negative 2. Okay. Then we have to get our co-vertices and our vertices. Since the value of a is bigger than the value of b, it's horizontal. The orientation of this is horizontal. So formula for v using a is h k plus minus a. When we write it down, it's gonna be v1 equals 1 negative 2 plus 2.24. v1 equals 1 equals 0.24. So that's the value of our vertex. One of our vertices is 1 and 0.24. Let's get the value of our other vertices, which is going to be v2 equals 1 minus 2 minus 2.24. Since they're both negative numbers, we're just gonna add, copy the sign, then so to get the value of our co-vertices, you write it down as v1 equals 1 plus 1.73 comma 1, and we get an answer of 2.73. 3, 1. That's the value of our covertex, 2.73 and 1. Next, so let's compute for V2 next. We have 1 minus 1.73 minus 1, or rather negative 1. So V2 equals 0.73 comma negative 1. That's the value of our second vertex, 0.73 comma negative 1. So now let's get the value of our foci. So the formula for foci is hk plus minus c. That's the value of our foci. Then we write it down as 1 minus 2 plus 2 equals 1 and 0. So our first foci or foci, either way. Then the second value of our foci is going to be 1 and negative 4. That's the value for second foci. So now we have the value of our center, our covertices, our vertices, value of our foci here, and our standard form. That is all. Thank you for watching.